Hello, I'm Tamara of Tamara Lynette Tales. The show 90 Day Fiance chronicles the journeys of American citizens who found love overseas and their attempt to bring their true love to the U.S. on a K-1 visa, which means once their loved one arrives to the U.S., they only have 90 days to get married or risk being deported back to their home country. So the show has had some wild adventures. Unfortunately, many of them were exaggerated or just not true, but that's a story for another video. In this video, I'm going to count down my picks of the top cast member transformations after they were thrust into the Hollywood spotlight. Coming in at number 11, Yara. We met Yara and Jovi in season 8. So Jovi traveled all over the world for his underwater robotics job and decided to download a dating app to meet new people, where he met Yara from Ukraine. For the most part, fans were underwhelmed by Yara's bratty behavior and lack of gratitude she showed Jovi's mom, who bent over backwards to try and make her feel welcome and supported. But that was then, and this is now. Yara has admitted to having a nose job because she said she felt like her old nose looked like a potato. She's also had lip injections, which is a procedure that she has to maintain by returning at least once a year for a refill. She shared that after 17 months of breastfeeding her daughter Mila, she felt insecure about her breasts, so she went under the knife to get breast implants and a lift. Fans were amazed by how quickly she was able to lose the baby weight after having Mila. She often shared Instagram posts of her workout routine and various meals she ate to regain her figure. Number 10 is Rose. Rose and Big Ed were introduced in season 4 of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. 23-year-old Rose, a single mom from the Philippines, and 54-year-old Ed, a washed-up photographer from San Diego, seem to have absolutely, positively nothing in common. When Big Ed flew to the Philippines to meet Rose, we got to see firsthand what a nincompoop Big Ed was, and Rose abruptly dumped him. But that was then, and this is now. Miss Rose has gotten her glow up on. She plays with different hair color and lengths, plus now she seems to dabble in makeup as well. Since the show, her life has also gotten a makeover. No more living in a small space behind her family store. She now has a successful YouTube channel. She's a fashion model and a business owner in the Philippines. She purchased land and a house, which she remodeled. Rose has been able to parlay her 15 minutes of fame, whereas her ex, Big Ed, has fallen from glory due to his consistent, disgraceful treatment of the women in his life. Number 9, Paola. Paola was featured in season 1 of 90 Day Fiance. She was in love with Russ from Oklahoma, and Paola is from Colombia. Russ's job as an oil industry field engineer led him to her home country. They eventually settled into Florida as their permanent home, but hit a rough patch after 8 years of marriage and announced in August of 2021 that they were going to take a break. However, they were able to work through their differences and are now back together. So that was Paola then, and this is her now. Paola's original goal was to become a model, which she fulfilled and became the main breadwinner with the proceeds from her modeling gigs after Russ lost his job. Eventually, she decided to pursue a fitness career and now is a personal trainer with a thriving career, including product endorsements. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, she shocked fans by announcing she was going to be a wrestler. Initially, she called herself Paola Blaze, but after she and Russ worked things out, she began performing under her married name, Paola Mayfield. Oh, and a quick shout out to Russ. He lost his bangs, and just like that, bam! He went from nerd to hot. I see you, Russ. Number 8, Ariella. Ariella from New Jersey and Binion from Ethiopia were on season 2 of 90 Day Fiance the other way. They met while she was on a trip in Ethiopia. After 3 months into their love affair, she was pregnant. She flew back to the United States for prenatal care, but came back to give birth in Ethiopia so Binion could be present. But that was then. This is Ariella now. Ariella lost a whopping 50 pounds after giving birth to her son, Avi. She has had some Botox and fillers to correct her uneven smile. Since she struggled with pain in moving her jaw and her facial asymmetry was off thanks to TMJ disorder, she decided to seek medical advice. So she found a doctor in New York who suggested getting Botox in her jaw, around her eyes, and in her lip area. Number 7, Memphis. Memphis from Michigan and Hamza from Tunisia were featured on season 5 of 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days. Okay, there's like 36 different versions of this show. Anyway, they met online and spoke virtually for 8 months. They pretty much struggled with everything, especially communication, because neither of them spoke the other's language. In the end, they got married, pregnant, broke up, and got into a heated custody battle. Memphis now has custody of their daughter. But that was then, and this is what she looks like now. Memphis has lost 47 pounds since giving birth to her and Hamza's daughter. She is now a single mom of 3 children, a 15-year-old daughter, an 8-year-old son, and a 1-year-old daughter with Hamza. She's working as a nurse practitioner, and her social media posts tend to advocate for self-love and empowerment. Number 6, Devin. Devin from Utah and Jaehoon from South Korea were featured on 90 Day Fiance The Other Way Season 2. They met on a dating app. Jaehoon flew to Utah to meet Devin, and after that first meeting, Devin learned she was pregnant with Jaehoon's baby. Later, Devin moved to South Korea to marry Jaehoon and start a new life there. However, years later, Devin revealed that the show twisted their storyline to give viewers the impression she was moving to South Korea. She said 96% of what we saw was fake. She and Jaehoon knew that they did not have good chemistry. However, they both had a lot of bills to pay, so they played along. Well, that was then, and this is Devin now. Devin claims she has never gone under the knife to improve her looks, but she has admitted to using filters to give herself a little nip and tuck here and there. She was insecure about her smile, so she has gotten veneers since being on the show. In 2019, she spoke out about getting a botched lip filler in Korea. She said, "My lip was so swollen and injected incorrectly. I had damage so severe that my lip was dying." Eventually, she reached out to her fellow castmate, Larissa, who also had the same procedure done, for a recommendation. So Devin traveled to Larissa's practitioner, who corrected her overinflated lips. Now Devin posts about the new love in her life, Topher, and mostly about Taeyoung, her son with Jaehoon, and Taeyoung's journey with having leukemia. And she very recently gave birth to her 3rd child, fathered by Topher. Coming in at number 5, Tiffany. Tiffany from Maryland and Ronald from South Africa were featured on season 1 of 90 Day Fiance The Other Way. Tiffany and her friend traveled to South Africa and ended up meeting Ronald. They had an instant connection, so they decided to have a long-distance relationship. 6 months later, Tiffany returned to South Africa and Ronald proposed. Tiffany and her son Daniel attempted to move to South Africa, but were not happy there. Shortly after their wedding, Tiffany learned she was pregnant and moved back to the United States to give birth to their baby girl. In the meantime, and ever since, they have had a tough relationship, breaking up and getting back together multiple times. But that was Tiffany then. This is her now. Tiffany has lost a whopping 80 pounds after having gastric sleeve weight loss surgery. After her surgery, she was featured on 90 Day Fiance The Single Life. Apparently, she thought her newfound love was like the answer she was looking for and thought she was going to get her happy ending, until it all came crashing down when she realized he was just a different version of Ronald. So I guess she decided, why not stick with the original and rekindle things with Ronald? This time, they have vowed to keep their relationship to themselves and not splash it all over social media for the sake of their children. Number 4, Darcey. We met Darcey from Connecticut and Jesse from Amsterdam on season 1 of Before the 90 Days. Like many of their castmates, they met online. Eventually, Darcey traveled to Amsterdam to meet Jesse in person. After that, their rocky love story took off. Jesse came for an extended stay in Connecticut to further their relationship. However, he didn't seem to connect with Darcey's daughters, or Darcey for that matter. After a lot of drama and tears, they finally called it quits. That was Darcey then, but this is what she looks like now. Darcey has been very open about her several trips under the knife. She's had multiple nose injections, fox eye therapy, a procedure that elongates the eyes, cheek lifts, liposuction, breast augmentations, breast lifts, lip injections, and weight loss, just to name a few. She is notorious for posting extremely filtered photos on social media. This one in particular is so filtered that it looks more like an artist rendering than an actual photo. Fans have come down hard on her for her dramatic alterations of her face, but as long as she loves it, that's all that matters. Number 3, Jorge. Jorge from California and Anfisa from Russia were featured on season 4 of 90 Day Fiance. Jorge spotted Anfisa's photos on Facebook and fell in love with her. Anfisa was very open about the fact that she expected money and to be spoiled in exchange for her hand in marriage. Jorge struggled to keep up with her expensive taste and may have misled her a little bit when it came to what he was financially capable of providing. So after a crazy, explosive whirlwind of a season, they went through with the marriage, which was a disaster, and they later divorced after he was arrested for possession of marijuana. That was Jorge then, but this is him now. Prison did a body good. His 2.5-year sentence helped him sculpt his revenge body. After his release from prison, a fan DM'd him and he promptly responded. Later, they got married and had 2 kids. It's pretty fair to say that he definitely has a type when it comes to his women. His current wife is kind of Anfisa-ish. There are some overall similarities, but I suspect their looks is where the similarities end. These two appear to be happier and less toxic than his first marriage. And speaking of Anfisa, I'll give her a quick shout out for losing weight and leaning down. She took first place in a bikini competition and is now a certified personal trainer. Number 2 is Angela. 56-year-old Angela from Georgia and 34-year-old Michael from Nigeria were introduced on season 2 of 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. So out of the blue, Michael messaged Angela on social media and things took off from there. Angela eventually flew to Nigeria to meet Michael. In the end, they got married and Angela flew back and forth between the United States and Nigeria to see him. But many fans suspect that her relationship is kind of fake, partly because she really didn't seem to like Michael or his friends, and their 22-year age difference was a suspicious choice for Michael, who was 30 years old when he messaged 52-year-old Angela. But that was Angela then, and this is her now. Since her first appearance on the show, Angela has had gastric bypass surgery and has lost 110 pounds. She's had breast implants along with a breast reduction and a lift. She's also had a liposuction, teeth implants, and Botox. Since her makeover, Angela has been spotted quite often in Los Angeles on the party scene and was at one time linked to the plastic surgeon who performed her breast augmentation. However, recently, Angela has posted photos of herself and Michael together, indicating that they are a married couple. Well, at least for the cameras they are. And coming in at number 1, Larissa. We met Larissa from Brazil and Colt from Nevada in season 6 of 90 Day Fiance. Larissa left her 2 kids behind to live with Colt, or Colty as she called him, and his mother in the United States. It didn't take long before all 3 of them began to clash. Colt was a mama's boy on a budget, and Larissa wanted to be treated like a queen. only to learn that his mom was the queen of that household and she was not relinquishing her throne or her chokehold on her son anytime soon. But that was Larissa then. This is what she looks like now. Larissa has lost weight, plus has gotten multiple breast augmentations. She had to slowly build up to the size she is now to give her body and skin the time it needed to adapt. She's also been open about having a nose job, liposuction, butt augmentations, Botox, and she often visits spas for procedures that help her maintain this look. Larissa has also had a financial transformation by having a very successful OnlyFans account where she shared naughty photos and videos of herself. It is estimated that she's worth around $500,000 now. Not a bad stash for a woman who came to the United States with just some luggage and a dream. So those are my top 11 transformation picks. Did one of yours not make the list? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.